Hello, I'm Father Joe Gambala, pastor of St. Malachy Catholic Church in Sterling Heights. Welcome to Saints of the Summer. Well, we're about finished with this pandemic. But if you recall when it hit us over, it'll be, a year and a half ago when this came down upon us, the worst spot when it began was New York City. And being someone who reads the New York Times, it was interesting to read stories about all those who had the means, all of the wealthy in town, that could flee town. Most of them did, to their states on Long Island or maybe up into the Connecticut or Massachusetts or upstate New York, where they would live and stay out of the city until the whole thing passed. But as for the poor and those who didn't have anywhere else to go, well, they were stuck to do the best they could in the city filled with this virus. And that reminds me of St. Aloysius Gonzaga, our saint today. St. Aloysius, he was born into a wealthy family. He was set to become a prince of Lombardy. Lombardy is one of the wealthiest regions of what's now modern-day Italy. So he had a great future in front of him. But he got very interested in this new group of people called the Jesuits. He met Ignatius of Loyola and decided, God is calling me to something greater. He's calling me to be a warrior for him, to bring people to the Lord. And so he did something quite remarkable. He renounced his royal title. He transferred all of his money to his brother, and he entered the Jesuit order. Now, he was a student, still studying to be a priest, when a plague broke out in the town that he was in. Now, he could have fled. I'm sure his parents and I'm sure his brother would have been more than happy to have taken him out of town, because that's what you did in medieval times when there was a plague. If you could get out of town, you got out of town. And if you were too poor and sick to get out of town, well, unfortunately, you probably would fall victim to the plague. Aloysius could have got out of town if he wanted to, but he looked at all these poor sick people and he said, who's going to take care of them? He stayed and took care of them. He washed them. He fed them when he could. He'd take care of them. He buried them when they died. He stayed there throughout the entire plague until toward the end of the plague, he too caught the plague and passed away. He gave up all that he had on earth to put his treasure in heaven.